Hello, good morning, and welcome to this mid-morning taste challenge. I have two American blended whiskeys, both 80 proof with no website listing. Here's Beam's 8-star Kentucky whiskey, a blend. You can either call it blended whiskey or whiskey a blend. They're using whiskey a blend. Same thing. Produced by Clear Springs Distilling Company, Claremont and Frankfort, Kentucky. And for those in the know, that's James B. Beam Distilling Company, people that make Jim Beam, but they're using an alias name to distance themselves. I don't know how far they're going to distance themselves if the name of it is Beams, you know. No, I mean, bottled in Kentucky whiskey a blend. So it's produced, aged, blended, and bottled in Kentucky. Been on the market 49 years, introduced 1976. I paid $9 for this liter bottle at Star on Louisiana Highway 23, southbound Gretna, Louisiana. The local name is Belle Chase Highway. The official name is Louisiana Highway 23, which dead ends at the Gulf of Mexico. Like, it's one of those, the road goes both ways, sure, but there's a terminus and it's a dead end. Like, you can't go any further because there's no more road. There's a gulf. So that's, if you want to try an interesting route, take 23 from the start at the Mississippi River all the way to the bottom, and you'll be sticking way out in the Gulf of Mexico. It's something to see. Okay, I've been down the whole length of it. Here is Bay Street Spirits blended American whiskey, and specifically it's Florida whiskey because it is created from a unique blend of 20% straight whiskey and 80% grain neutral spirits. Oh, yay. And they're showing a cavern with barrels. But that could actually represent Florida because do you know they have caverns in Florida? So we got tan, white, black, and gray. Beautiful plastic bottle. Produced and bottled by Florida Distillers Company, Auburndale, Florida. No age statement on either one of these, so we know the straight whiskeys in here are at least 4 years old. Funny thing about it, Florida Distillers was started in 1943. That's how old that distillery is in Auburndale, like a suburb of Orlando. 1943. It's still there. It was bought by CC1 Foods. They make a lot of Latino food products like rice, Vienna sausage, Carmela, Vienna sausage. They're in Puerto Rico, but they own it. They own Carib, probably their biggest thing. Caribe Club rum, which I have seen. I guess maybe their biggest thing might be that Capriccio wine specialty products. I see a lot of Capriccio wine specialties, which is made from other than standard orange wine. So they're a pretty big operation down there in Central Florida, and I think it was the Seagram's distillery. Seagram's distillery from 1943 to about 25 years ago. Now, why did Seagram's build a distillery in Central Florida? I don't know, but they did. Okay, and they sold it to CC1. Okay, the Beam has a slight amber appearance, maybe colored with caramel coloring, which is allowed for American, Canadian, Irish, and Scotch blended whiskey. The Bay Street Spirits is very pale. Straw. I do not get the impression that they're adding any coloring to this. This is probably the actual appearance without being enhanced with caramel coloring. We know the straight whiskeys are at least 4 years old, so it probably would bring that to it. Do you like to eat smoked pork, says Herbie? Yes, I do. But not all formats of it. With whiskey? No, I never tried that. I guess I would like it. Okay, Herbie's in India, folks. Okay, could try to find some website stuff, but it's not going to be the official website. Just be stores that sell it. Let's see. Beams, 8-star. Let's see who's got it. Kroger. Try to find a different store. Let's see. Kroger. Let's see about, where's this place? Applejack Wine and Spirits of Wheat Ridge, Colorado. Item available online only. That's bizarre. You can't buy it in the store, but you can order it online. That's bizarre. That is really strange. Well, I'm not going to show that one. Let's see. Who else has it? Martin Brune Liquor. They want to charge too much. I'm not going to show them. Joe's Beverage Warehouse of Romeville, Illinois. Now that looks like a good choice. Let's see about, what's it called? Bay Street Spirits Whiskey. See if anybody's selling that. Total Wine. Okay. They don't sell it here anymore. I bought it at Total Wine. It was $10.99, and I never saw it again. But it's just what they chose to do. Okay, so let's look at the websites, and then we'll go on to the tasting. Applejack is a real big liquor store west of Denver, says Tom, located on Interstate Highway 70 on the way to the mountains. Applejack's. Yeah, it's probably a nice place. Like if you go to Houston, they got Specs everywhere. Louisiana got Hocus Pocus Liquor. All the skiers and visitors and tourists in Colorado stop at Applejack Liquors before they go up to the mountains. Claude will know that place is huge. It does enormous volume. I'm sure Claude knows quite a bit about it. I'm sure Claude knows it. You hear that, Claude? All right. Yeah, let's get off of this site. Nobody's should be paying $12.99 for a regular bottle of this. Okay, so here's Joe's Beverage Warehouse of Romeville, Illinois. They've got bar and a liter, typical bottle for it, although it's in mini formats. Nice. That's what it should look like. Bright gold, not the washed out gold on my bottle from fading under the lights for 11 years or 10 years. Then they got a whole write-up about Jim Beam. Well, this is not Jim Beam. This is Beams. Here is Kroger. They're showing a handle bottle, which I can easily get in Louisiana for about $16.99. And I would figure they'd probably sell it if they don't show the price because you got clicking us. Don't live anywhere near a Kroger. Their closest Krogers are in like western Louisiana. Although I've heard rumors that they may be coming here, but I don't believe it. That's showing the current bottle, 80-20 blend ratio, aged 2 years. My bottle, my bottle is 75-25, no age statement. I have an 11-year-old bottle. Here's Bay Street Spirits, same thing I bought. $13.99. So in 5 years, went up $3. Thank you, Joe Bud. All right, but anyway, this grain whiskey is all American. Bay Street Blended Whiskey offers whiskey at an affordable point. Best served mix with a variety of sodas, including ginger ale. So they're telling you best served mix, light and woody. The product details. Is it complex? No, it's mild. In other words, dull. Is it delicate or rich? No, it's delicate. In other words, dull. So yeah, it's bland. You know, we get it. It's cheap. What do you expect? But it gets a 90 out of 100, a 9 out of 10. So somebody likes it. But I don't know why they don't sell it here anymore. I don't know. Something happened, whatever. Well, I've noticed something about Trader Joe. Well, them too, but I noticed especially about Total Wine, they have a lot of turnover. Like they'll keep stuff on the shelf and you see it the next time, but then you go the third time, you don't see it, and then you never see it again. They just kind of move things in and out, beer, wine, or liquor, especially liquor. So if you see something you're interested, you might want to buy it because you're probably not going to see it again if you wait. Okay, so I have to close my eyes because if I see the lighter color, I'm going to automatically know. Now, I found that Bay Street Spirits, it's got a little weird aroma and flavor, like it's kind of a sharpness to it. Now, I found another one of their products in Houston, Texas, Spring, Texas, actually, next to Houston, Spring, Texas, north of Houston. Years ago, it was called King Square American Blended Whiskey. Different blend ratio, though, so it was not the same product with a different label. It was 72.5 to 27.5%. That's a very odd configuration. But it was from Auburndale. It was from Florida Distillers, Florida Caribbean Distillers, as they used to call themselves. And it was $5.99. Wasn't bad, Wasn't anything to brag about. Wasn't anything to track down, but it wasn't bad. Might have been a private label for specs. Bay Street Spirits might be a private label for Total Wine and More. In other words, they might make it just for them. But I can't say that, but it could be. Okay, I blab enough to get it confused, so now I don't know which is which. Here we go. Well, it smells like nothing but a little sharp wood. And that's what I noticed about Bay Street Spirits. It's got this sharp, kind of harsh oak note, like toothpicks. But really, it could be aged in a cave because Florida does have caverns. So they could be a cave complex underneath that distillery where they age the stuff, where it's cool all the time. And it might collapse one day because Florida has a lot of cave-ins built on top of coral reefs. They have many cave-ins. Like the whole highway will just suddenly drop. Hopefully no cars will be passing when it does. Little creamier toothpicks. I'm thinking Bay Street Beams HR. You could tell by the appearance. I can't. I have my eyes closed. Taste time. Cheers. Well, the grass is still too wet. I think I might have to wait 2 more hours to cut because it's so overcast. The grass is not drying. The dew is still there. And I don't want to cut wet grass. But I got to worry about this rain. I don't know. The radar's not showing anything. I got to find a window of an hour, 1 hour window. I'll tell you what, there's a creaminess, though. It's not all toothpick wood. Well, I lost track of the other glass. I don't want to knock it off the table. The desk, I have an office desk here. It's very old, probably 1940s. Could be 1930s office desk. Beautiful condition. Leather top. Bought it for $20. 1988, 87. Beautiful desk. Probably an army. They painted it black, but I noticed when I opened the drawers, it's olive green. So I have a feeling it's army surplus, something from World War II that they were getting rid of. Yeah, it's all olive green. Yeah, that's what it is. So sturdy. That leather top. And somebody painted it black so it wouldn't look like army surplus. That one is a little toothpicky though. Tomato on the right. Let's go again. Taste, 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 taste. Creamy. And maybe corn flour. And I said I was going to use that as a cheat sheet for Beams 8-Star because I thought that Beams 8-Star had a flavor of corn flour. And I'm not frying catfish or shrimp at the moment or ever. This one's lighter bodied, has more of a bite to it, and I am picking up toothpick wood. So what did I notice about Bay Street Spirits? It's lighter bodied. I pick up the I say toothpick wood, which is like oak, right? Uncharred oak. And there's a little bitiness to it. Is Oak Street Spirits American blended, specifically Florida blended whiskey? Is it worth buying? I think for $10.99 for the handle, it was worth it. $13.99. I'd think about it. You say that's so cheap, though. I know. I'd still think about it. But the Beams 8-Star, and I paid $9 for the liter, not the normal price, but it's really not much. It's really not much more expensive, regular price. I would buy it. I would. I think the bean quality is shining through. Some people hate Jim Beam. I don't know why. They got this in there. They go around the world hating on Jim Beam and Jack Daniels like it's a sickness. Well, it is a sickness. They want to go tell everybody they know, I hate Jim Beam. I hate Jack Daniels. I only drink single malt. Well, that's nice, but why, like, what's the point of telling everybody? You say, well, I went to that swim party for my daughter's swim team, and I was telling everybody how I hated Jim Beam, and they were drinking it, and I told them all off. You probably did do that. That's what crazy people do. Okay. Or at least boorish, obnoxious people. But I digress. Not really, because that's kind of like part of the whole thing. But I think this is the Beam, and I think it's a little bit better. Well, I hope I'm right. Oh, no, it looks light. Oh, where do I go? Who do I turn to? That's the Bay Street here. Well, I feel castigated, elaborated, instigated, not sophisticated. Definitely irritated. I'm so shocked. Here comes the Kansas City Southern eastbound from Kansas City into New Orleans with a bunch of chemical vessels. So, oh man, I feel so bad. You know how you feel right now? I feel worse than that because I got it wrong, and I was confident, and I don't think I was overconfident. I was really trusting my cheat sheet with the corn flour, and I said this one's bitier and everything. It was the Beam. The Beam was bitier. Are you kidding me? Is this for real? Is this real or is this Memorex? Because I'm not been my boss. I think I got it wrong. Wow. So that is amazing. So the Bay Street Spirits has a creamier, like a sugar cream, like a fondant or something. That one has that. Well, tell you what, you just never know what's going to happen in a blind taste test, which is why a lot of people don't do blind taste. Oh, they'll do comparison videos. They'll do that all day long. And then the worst ones where they got like 12 different whiskeys. This is their level of thinking. I got 12 different whiskeys. Which one is the best? So, well, A, why would you want to drink 12 different whiskeys in one setting? B, how would you determine anything? I tried this, I tried that, 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 I tried this, I tried that. Oh, yeah, boy, this one is the best. It's like this video has no point. There's no sense to it. I never watch those kind of things. And they go on and on. It could be anything. I tried these 8 German Doppelbocks, 8, not 2. Compare, and it's all open. It's never blind taste test. Some are, and that doesn't even make any sense. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Oh yeah. What do you think, Johnny? What do you think, Johnny? It's like, oh wait, come on, folks. You're not in that much of a rush. If you have a YouTube channel, just do one-on-one, one product versus another product. Do it blind. It's not that hard. Now, if you got somebody at your home that can mix them up for you, even better. Pour it for you, double blind. You don't know who's, let them be blindfolded when they pour it. But, there's a way to construct that. But let's see, blind taste tests. Or if you're here like me, you can still put labels below, mix them up. You don't know which is which, and do it, okay? Not that difficult. Might take a couple of seconds. I know your attention span is poor. A lot of people got social media induced attention deficit disorder, but that can be cured with discipline. You don't need to take psychotropic drugs to do that, but just do it right, please. I'm begging you. Well, Beams 8-star, you got me perplexed. Wait a minute, something ain't right. That is very pale. That is very pale. I hope this didn't happen again, because this is a discipline issue, a quality control. Did I mix them up again? I can't see that being possible. In other words, did I put the wrong product with the wrong label? I don't know. That's extremely pale. That is so pale. Let me pour. Oh, I'm trying to save it, not trying to waste it. That's pretty dark, in a relative sense. Oh, that's so. Even with this ounce each, that is so pale. I don't know, man. It sure did have a bite. It sure did have that Bay Street Spirits bite to it. No. It's got that sharp bite. I just screwed up. I think I screwed it up. I think I got to pour more. And you say, you're just trying to drink. Look, if I was trying to drink, I would just say it live on air. I wouldn't even be shy about it. I would just say, I'm going to drink a lot today. I'm going crazy. I wouldn't try to hide that. But if I mess it up, I'm not going to try to hide that either. I'm going to, it's no excuse for it. It's an example of sloppiness, I think. I'm not going to sit there and make excuses, because that's not a valid defense. Okay. Things aren't as easy to discern blind, says Tab. They're not, especially if you screw up the pouring, you put the wrong product in the wrong vessel. But I thought in my mind, I'm thinking, it's correct. I've done it right. Well, they thought that way with the Columbia space shuttle. We've done it right. Nothing's wrong. Well, there was a little incident with that fiberglass hitting that front corner, but that's probably okay. What's the worst that could happen? But then didn't exactly pan out like they had hoped. Okay. Terrible, horrible story. And human error too, not computer error. Columbia, human error. And obstinance too. Challenger, same thing. I watched CNN early in the morning before dawn. What were they saying on CNN? Well, there was a freeze last night. We hope that the O-rings didn't crack. Watching this, you're showing the icicles, and I'm thinking, wow, that's NASA. They know what they're doing. They got it all down pat. I'm thinking this, hey, what could happen? It's not going to be a problem. It's the government. HAL 9000. They programmed the damn thing wrong. They sent those guys out there. They lied to them. First of all, they didn't even tell them what they were there for. Then the computer, the machine malfunctioned, and they were like, well, sorry about your little problem, fellas. Sorry about your little problem. Yeah, you're out there in space, and you got to rely on this machine, which is we programmed incorrectly, and now it's broken, but it'll probably be all right. Yeah, it was all right. Not that we really are concerned about your welfare. We're really trying to get you to go into that monolith to see what's inside. That's the whole point. But, just don't worry about that. So I guess it was mission accomplished, right? Creaminess. Yeah. Okay. Man, I feel bad about this. I feel bad about screwing it up, because I'm thinking like, be very careful, do things right, follow procedure. And then I'll start talking about the products and the blend ratio and everything, and I get totally confused. And you say, oh, that's early onset. Pretty soon you won't be asking, where's my hairbrush? You'll be asking, what is a hairbrush? Well, let's hope not. Okay. I'll tell you the truth. I knew a guy, he went to the doctor. Horrible story, really. It's not funny, and I shouldn't even say it. But he went to this doctor, and the doctor says, I got bad news and I got really bad news. He said, what do you want first? He said, well, give me the really bad news. He said, well, you have cancer, and it's advanced. He said, that's really bad news. He said, the bad news is you have Alzheimer's disease. And then the patient said, well, at least I don't have cancer. So, yeah. And it's a game. I said this a few days ago. I said, the doctor told me, he said, Ronald, you're so sane that you're insane. This was his diagnosis. You're so sane that you're insane. But I thought he was working for the Cuban government and was, well, really, I thought that it was truthfully located between Australia and New Zealand, and that my morning glass of milk came from cats. But I think it's a conspiracy. But anyway, as a comic, in all seriousness, I steal all my material, I might add, I am apologizing for this mistake. But yeah, okay, all right, I got it right in a wrong way. I got it right, but through the wrong way. I was in the right place, but it must have been the wrong time. You know what I mean? I was in a, yeah, it's that kind of situation. So I was in the right place, but it was the wrong road. So anyway, I got it, but it was embarrassing. I should delete. I think later I'll just delete the video, and then nobody will know. See, I can just do it. That's the beauty of the internet. If I make a mistake, I just delete it. And if I get it right, I keep it posted, and then I'm an expert. And nobody knows the difference. And if you bring it up, I'll block you. So you say, oh, you mean the internet is where the passive aggressive people come to play? I think that's pretty obvious. They'll tell you anything at any time. And if you respond, they'll block you. And They construct their own reality. Okay, so Tom says, okay, so I did get it right ultimately, but I am very embarrassed about screwing it up, and I'm sorry about that. And I'm unanimous in that. But I do feel better than the Pirates are feeling this 2025. Okay, Tom says HAL equals IBM. HAL equals IBM. Well, Fidelio. Fidelio. Man goes into the doctor and says, "No one talks to me." Doctor walks out of the room and says, "Next patient, please." Okay, yeah. It's terrible. Like like John Lennon says, "I'll give you everything I got for a little peace of mind." Um, I'm so tired. I haven't slept a wink. Okay. So I'll curse Sir Walter Raleigh. He was such a. Okay. Anyway, y'all take care, and let's hope the next time I will do it properly and don't have another screw up. You say, but you're like, come on, man, you've done this like 12 times. I know, and I'm ashamed. But I do have a first printing of Dark Side of the Moon from 1973 with and Wish You Were Here 1975 with the original cover art, and the postcards. So you can look that up in your Funkin' Wagnalls. All right. Thanks, everybody. Bye bye.